Alrighty, hey traders. Today I want to share something with you with the gold mining stocks. There's something interesting. I've been looking at the GDX and the GDXJ here, but when it comes to the HUI and the XAU, there's really an interesting pattern that's forming on there right now. So for you guys that are interested in the gold mining sector, this is going to be really, really interesting for you. Plus, also, I want to share with you that we are very, very, very high right now in the stock market. And the stock market's been going crazy. And I'm going to share some things with you. If you're worried about the market actually tipping over and we're starting to getting a bit of a crash, first I'm going to share with you what to look for technically on the charts. But also, secondly, I'm going to share with you what are some things we should watch out for when it comes to the Fed. That's going to cause the market to start to get a bit wobbly. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into it. If you haven't done so yet guys, I got a trading course. I used to sell it, but I'm actually just giving free access for a short period of time frame. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it up for free because I should go back to start charging it. But anyway, you can still you can still get it for free right now, okay? Just if you're struggling to trading right now, that phase number one is going to be for you. If you need help with say chart reading or trading systems, you want to learn my trading system, it's all in there, right? Just go get the help you need, and it's for free. I promise you're going to absolutely love it. Now let's actually get started here. Now, guys, for me right now, it is Sunday morning. I'm just. Man, I can't talk right now. I'm just so excited. It is, for me right now, as I do this video for you, it is Sunday morning. It is almost 20 past 5 in the morning. I got up around 3:30 this morning to get up and I just couldn't sleep, right? Because I couldn't sleep because I'm just so excited about these markets. So for the last, say, half an hour, I've been looking at these markets right now and thinking about these markets. About all markets, right? About different like the stock market, about different stocks that I'm in right now, about my trading system, about silver, gold, and different silver and or gold and silver mining stocks, and even when it comes to the crypto market, because for me guys right now, the harder I work, the luckier I get, and you can make so much money from trading, right? There's a lot of money to be made from trading. But it really requires you, right, to be disciplined and consistent, right? If you want to be an active trader, then make sure you have some sort of a system that you're going by. Don't just be getting in and getting out based on a thought or a hope, because you're never going to get ahead in the markets long term. That is, you may be lucky every now and then and get it right and make a bit of money. But if you want a sustainable growth, then have some sort of a pattern. Again, if you want to learn my trading system, I teach you for free in that trading course. Just go get it. And I'll share with you my pattern, okay? But when it comes to even like investing opportunities right now, there's some incredible opportunities that's happening like throughout the rest of this year. But then what I also see what's like to happen over the next 5 or 10 years. And as a bit of a broad blanket here, I see so much money is going to be made, especially over these next 4 or 5 years. From these markets. And for me personally, guys, I have a massive financial target that I'm trying to hit by the end of this decade. And I know the harder I work, the luckier I get. And that's the reason why, guys, I work so hard on what is the truth behind these markets. And that's what I do. I provide the truth about what are the simple things we can do as an individual retail trader that's going to give us some sort of an edge to help us just to do well out of these markets, all right? Maybe on a short-term basis, but also what can we do when it comes to buy and hold, right? So for me personally, guys, I am just jumping out of my skin, excited right now. I'm coming off an incredible, just right now, this has been an incredible year for me when it comes to my trading, and it's just getting heated up, and I'm going to finish the year off. I'm just amazingly strong. Again, guys, there's so much money, and this market right now, if we study hard and we work really hard and really understand what we're looking for and what's going on in these markets right now, the truth, not the fear-mongering bullshit that you're going to hear out there, right? But the truth. If you study hard and you don't listen to fear-mongering, but understand the mechanics about what's happening behind these markets and what's going on, then the mechanics you can really generate what I call, fuck you money, right? I really do believe you can generate that, but it does take you a bit of time of being focused, right? That's always the hardest bit for you, but I believe in you. If you're going through a hard time right now, in my trading course, phase number 1, I talk about the biggest mistakes you're making right now and how to overcome it. So that phase number 1 is going to be definitely for you if you're struggling right now. So now there's a bit of a talk there about your trading, guys. I'm just so excited right now, guys. And for me personally, so much money can be made, and generation, just a massive amount of wealth and income can be generated this next 5 or 10 years. And not only that, but like, anyway, so looking at the markets, as I promised you before, right? I'm looking at the mining stock sector here, and looking at the mining stock sector. Yesterday I talked about a particular pattern that is forming on the. Let's go have a look here for a minute. So let's actually just bring up. So I'm going to bring up a chart, and one thing I want you to do, traders, whenever you're looking at the market, one of the most important things to your trading is the chart itself. Okay. The indicators like the CCI and the RSI and the stochastics and all that sort of stuff, they're okay in the markets. But when you become what I call a chart reading master, where you learn how to read the flow of the market, which is not that hard, right? It's just, again, phase number 2 in that trading course. There's like 3 videos that goes for like almost an hour long, teach you the most important things to focus on when it comes to the chart reading stuff. There's so much to do when it comes to chart reading, but one thing I want to recommend you doing is, if you're trying to read what the market's doing, then just have a blank screen just like this here. And the reason why I use black bars is because, let's actually be honest, trading is an emotional thing, right? Doesn't matter what you're doing. There's some sort of emotion that's going to be tied to your trading. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for. I still get a little bit emotional about my trading, so I do whatever I can to keep myself calm, to make sure that I am making non-emotional decisions, more logical decisions based on the system and what the market's telling me, and not based on fear, all this sort of stuff. Because you know yourself, right? That's when people go wrong. There's so much emotional, there's so much fear, and then we make these wrong decisions all the time. So for me personally, for me to remove that emotion as much as possible, one, I don't have big risk on my account ever. I only have a few percent risk on my account, no matter what. I'm always looking for, like, how can I have small risk but big upside potential, right? So like right now I'm in a few positions that I might have like a 2% risk on my account, but if the trade plans out over the next 3 to 6 months, my account could be up 20%. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the sort of risk to reward I want on my account. I want my account to grow, but trying to protect myself. But then also, man, I'm just so excited. I really am. Anyway, traders, you can do so well from these markets, okay? And I know, and I'm just thinking about right now, some traders like you guys that are watching this video right now, right? You're starving for this information. You're starving for wanting to get ahead in the markets. And I promise you this is coming from a guy who grew up in a government assisted house where I got split up from family because the family was doing drugs, and it was just really bad, and it was just when I first started trading, I lost so much money and I borrowed most of that money, and I ended up just like losing it all and just not doing well, and again, like, I barely finished. I didn't even really finish school, like year 10, and I was out of there. I couldn't really read or write when I was at school. But the thing is that when I actually started to trade the markets, I started to become so interested in this thing called trading in the markets. This is going on almost 17 years ago now. And when I did that, that's actually when I started to learn how to do maths. I started how to read and write, because at school, I hated school. I didn't want to be there, right? I was more like into sports. I loved playing sports. And so for me, I had no PhD or anything behind me at all. And I just wanted to get ahead financially. And it took me a long time to actually finally get it. It took me around probably 5 years of making a lot of mistakes in the markets and getting smacked across the head by these markets by you know what. But I promise you guys that if you don't quit, and if you just look at yourself and be a bit accountable and say, okay, what do I need to do to get ahead in these markets? And then actually start to move forward. And I can feel it, right? You can feel right now from you that you really want to make some money from these markets. And it's unfortunate because and I can feel that. But one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I was starting, if you're just starting out right now, we're looking at the markets, and you're in a situation right now where you've been involved with the markets maybe for a couple of years. There's a few things that I just say is that firstly, the more you try to load up on, more you try to make that big hit in one go, the faster you're going to blow your account up. Because all it's going to take is that one big whack and then you're out, right? You try to make a lot of money really, really quickly because you want to make money really quickly. You want to get rich really, really quickly. Because you see these once in a million opportunities that happens, like with GameStop and so on and so forth, and AMC and Bitcoin and these sort of things that happen. And that is going to destroy you. So that's the first thing, is don't do that, okay? And secondly, all I say is find some sort of a system. Now, a system simply means that you find something that you believe in, like a pattern, and you wait for that pattern. And when you take it, the system says take it. Now, the system says you're going to have some losses as well too along the way. I think a lot of people, they misunderstand the word system, right? System in the market means, okay, this is a pattern with an entry signal. There's a pattern with the entry signal on that pattern. This is when I get in. This is what my risk, and this is my exit point, right? That's what's called a system. It's a plan, risk management, trade management, pattern, right? But the system also says that you take the trades, but the system also says that you can have some losses in the way. And I think a lot of people have a hard time, especially in the markets, understanding that one thing, that system means take it, but system says you're going to have some losses along the way. But we never know, and this is the hardest thing that I had to overcome around with my own trading, and it took me so long to understand this, is that we never know, no matter how much we think we know and have a gut feeling and how much people are screaming. And in fact, if most people are saying something, you want to do the opposite, because it's probably the opposite is going to be true. Right. And if for you guys have been around for the markets for a while, how many times have we heard so much on one way about these markets, about a sector, and the complete opposite happens, right? But the system says you're going to have losses. But if one of the biggest thing my earliest mentors said, and I know I can feel you're just like, John, just shut up and get to the gold mining stocks, and I want to share with you, okay? I want to do this. And I'll continue with the mining stocks here, but I really want to help you here on this level as well too, okay? One of my earliest mentors, one of the biggest wake up shifts for me was when he looked at my trading statement and he looked at my trade. He said, John, you are all over the place. He said, there's no consistency whatsoever with you. He said, the reason why I do really well, because I'm so consistent at just really trading one type of pattern, one setup, really. And he said, and then I'm disciplined just to take that. And that's where, like, the difference between you and the people that are in the top 3% club like me, who do really, really well from trading. He said, that's the only differences, is that I have trades and I have some losses, but then most are profits, and then rinse, recycle, repeat, and then that's where we go. But that's where most of you traders right now, if you're not doing well out of the markets, that's where you're going wrong in the markets. Because I have some of my private clients who they had the system there, but they're not even following the system. And that's where it's even like, if you have a system but you're not even following it, then don't expect to get some good results. And that's always the hardest part out of trading. So anyway, let's actually get back to trading. And as I was saying before about being non-emotional, I'm always trying to do whatever I can to remove that emotion so I can just focus on what the markets tell me. And that's the reason why I really like to have black bars. I can use the candlesticks there, but I've always found having the black bars for me has been that one that allows me to read the market, but also have a non-emotional, because when I see the red and green candles, if I'm opening up my charts the next day, hoping for a green candle, right? And I get a red candle. I'm like, oh no, it's going down, right? We need to sort of relax and just watch what the market is telling us. So anyway, so bringing up the GDXJ here, the GDXJ. So I was talking about this yesterday in yesterday's session when it comes to the mining sector, and I was saying that we're getting this sort of end of trend, say the slingshot pattern, which is, you know, we're developing we've got this major support level here. We've broken below this level and we're getting back into this level here, right? SILJ, SIL is doing that as well too, right? Beautiful little break below and we're getting back into it, right? So this is a beautiful little pattern that I think it's got massive upside potential, but also a very little downside risk. Now, obviously it depends on what you do, but again, it's just, whenever I say that, I'm like, okay, guys, no matter what you do in these markets, guys, keep your risk small, right? No matter how much you think something is going to be a profitable trade, it can be a loss. You must accept that, okay? Please accept that. Please, okay, I'm getting to a trade right now. This can be a loss. And if it is a loss, are you risking too much on your account? If you're risking 50% of your account right now, it's just like, no. Okay, so I was looking at that with the silver mining stocks, but then I started looking at the GDX, right? So obviously the gold mining ETF. We didn't get the flush down here on the gold mining sector, right? We didn't get the flush down. So because we didn't get the flush down, we didn't get that last sort of end of trend type of move yet. Anyway, right? We haven't got it yet. It still can happen, but we could be getting ready for a breakout to the upside. And then also looking at the GDX. The GDX is almost developing what? It's almost developing this false breakout type of a move here. I also can see there's also, I can see there's something going on through here as well too. What is that? Is there something going on through there? There's probably something going on through there as well too. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Oh, well. Just me love technical analysis. So you can see here we've got a flush below the low here, and this is what the market does, right? The market flushes below the low before we start to see a big move. If you watch my last few videos, even yesterday's video, I talked about this with the silver mining sector. But I really want to focus today on the gold mining sector, because the gold mining sector, looking at this here, okay, looking at this GDX, we're not getting that break above like the SIL. Look what happened. We broke down. Now we're breaking back above. So that's when you want to see a break back above. So we're getting that right now when it comes to the silver mining stocks, but not the gold mining stocks. But if I start to go look at things like the HUI market, as you can see, look what's happening here. The HUI market which is like the gold bug index, right? It is starting to develop that pattern, which is we have major lows, we break below the low, and now we start to break below the low, and now we're starting to get back above here. So it is starting to develop this pattern here, and as you can see, this major low through here is breaking. And if you're just new to the markets, what I'm talking about here is what I call like a slingshot pattern, and the market loves to do this. If you see a major low, and then a lot of times it'll break below down. It's like a false breakout to the downside. The market will pause and then completely reverse and get back above the support line. That's called like a false breakout, but that's generally like a slingshot pattern. And then generally you see like a big move after that. So you get the support line here. So that's the big picture. If I zoom in on the short-term picture, look at this here. So I've actually got a bit of a trend line going through here as well too, as you can see. Right. So let me just draw that again. All right, so something going on through there, possibly, all right? Possibly something going on through there, but I really wouldn't count on that one there. But you can see this is that line here, right? You got this support level here. But look what's happening right now, okay? We had a breakdown, come back up, pause, and then we had a nice little pop back above this resistance level. Now this is that resistance around that 250 level, is that key point there. So this says now that this has a massive probability of starting to make this type of a move out of the markets. But as I said before, guys, there's no certainties of this happening, okay? I must really understand that, because a lot of you guys just, oh my goodness, the market's gonna go crazy, YOLO, all in the markets. No, risk, small risk. because guess what? There's probably there's a good chance that this is going to happen, but this still can happen. Okay, and you just that's what trading's all about. Okay, just understanding this risk, but understanding this reward. And that's what trading is all about. So we can see, right? We can see how this market has this is what the market's doing here on the HUI. But even if when I go look at things like the XAU, look what the XAU is doing as well. Really, really, really interesting. Look at this here, the XAU, which is the gold silver sector index. Look what happened here. So even though the GDXJ is almost creating this sort of slingshot move, the GDX is not yet. The GDX, as you can see, the GDX is actually still stuck at this sort of triangle pattern. We didn't actually get the flush down. The GDXJ got the flush down, but not the flush back up yet. But if I go look at the XAU, look what happened with the XAU. What did we get? We got a support, and now look what happened here recently. And that's the big picture. Short-term picture, look what happened to the short-term picture. We did what? We actually ran down, came down, break below support, which was that 130 level. We popped back up, we came back down, and now we tested it. And now we're actually breaking back up again. So there's a massive probability that if I squeeze my charts back up, the big picture, there's a massive there's a probability, there's a good probability that this thing here is going to be a final low before we start to make this sort of move again, and a lot higher out of the XAU in the markets here. So really, really, really interesting stuff, guys, when it comes to the gold mining stocks. Now, I also want to put one take here. I also want to put a note out there when it comes to people understanding what I've said here. What I'm talking about here is these particular charts, okay? I'm talking about pattern recognition on the XAU, the HUI, the GDX, the GDXJ. I'm not saying that this applies to all gold stocks out there. No, because they're creating they're doing their own patterns, they're doing their own things. Makes sense? So please don't think, okay, well, gold stocks are likely to rise, so therefore I'm going to go buy a gold stock. It's not like that, okay? Well, what I'm doing here is I'm talking about pattern recognition. The XAU right now is creating this pattern that I see and that I like in the market that has a good probability behind it. So therefore, it's the XAU. I'm not saying, oh, well, gold stocks are likely to go rise, so let's go trade, Newmont, NEM or Barrick Gold. I'm going to go buy them because gold stocks are going to rise. No. Whatever they are doing right now with their patterns, I'm not going to go trade those because I want to trade the thing that's giving me the pattern. Make sense, guys? So please, a big mistake a lot of traders make right now is that they say, okay, well, gold stocks are likely to rise, so let's go buy some gold stocks. No. For me personally, again, it's all about the pattern. And so therefore, I want to be trading what the pattern is telling, what the market that's telling me is the pattern. And so this is where, like, I think the stock market still has this is actually a good transition into the stock market, but I think the stock market has a lot of good movement to the upside for the rest of this year as we continue to make one of the most enormous bubbles in history. But that doesn't mean all stocks in the S&P are going to go up, right? Makes sense? Or not all stocks are going to go up. To me, I see the S&P and the Nasdaq going up to the upside. So I hope that makes sense when it comes to the gold mining sector, guys. Again, it's all about I'm all about trading what that one particular stock is, or that one particular stock, and the patterns that I see that I can trade off it. Okay, so please don't say, okay, well, gold stocks like it rise, so I'm just going to go buy any gold stock. Wrong. Okay, so let's actually move into the last point of today's last point in today's section, guys, when it comes to the stock market here. I see the stock market just being absolutely just a rampant rampage to the upside. As you guys know, we're in this wedgie, right? Wedgie, right? We're in this wedgie right now, and I believe we're likely to break to the upside and just go parabolic to the upside with the situation we're in right now, with the Fed not tapering yet when it comes to their bond purchases. when it comes to 0% interest rates and just so much liquidity from all other countries are coming into America, right? So we haven't seen that end of trend type of blow off top move. We're probably likely to see it. And also, I get 80% of most of my YouTube comments saying this wedgie here right now is actually bearish, so it's likely to break down. So therefore, it's probably going to break up. It's just the way that goes. For you guys that have been around the markets for a while, more than 10 years, you'll know, right? You've seen this at least a few times, where the market's screaming one thing and where the public is screaming one thing, but the market does the complete opposite. So up, 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 and away we go. So that's that sort of blanket there. But here's the thing. Right now we're looking at this here and we are just crazy high. If I let me actually bring up this screen here for you. And this screen, what we're looking at right now is just a look around the markets of what's happening here. Okay. So if I look at all these markets, this here is the NQ, which is the Nasdaq, but this is the daily charts. And then down the bottom here, this is the weekly chart of the NQ. You don't need to read you don't really read the numbers like, oh, John, what's the price? I can't read the numbers there. Forget the actual numbers, okay? Who cares about the numbers? Just look at the chart, okay? So, and this here's the SP. This will be the daily here, and this will be the weekly. This will be the DJ, right? The DJ daily, and this will be the DJ weekly, right? So the purpose of me bringing this up here is that if I look at these markets here, very beautiful bull markets. Okay, very beautiful bull markets, but what I see is just this crazy, especially look at this S&P 500 move from there to there, just crazy move up, and crazy move up, right? So I see that the market is very, very, very high, and yes, we're getting into a bubble territory right now, but doesn't mean we can't keep going, all right? Doesn't mean we can't keep going for the rest of this year. We don't know when the market's going to start to get bubbly. So right now the market is very, 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 very frothy. But here's a few things I really want you to keep an eye out for. If you are worried about the market going to crash, there's two major things that I want you to keep an eye out for over the next few months, right? Especially moving into next month, because the Fed, there's a lot of talking around the Fed actually starting to taper. Now, if the Fed does start to taper, then that may cause a bit of tantrum in the markets. And yeah, we may, if that does happen and they do start to do that, we may see a bit of a correction in the market, maybe a 5 or 10% correction in the market. That actually can happen. The market's probably going to take a tantrum there. So I'm very, very bullish for this year, but based on what's happening right now. Now, if the Fed starts to change their tune, the market's likely to change a little tantrum, little tantrum there. So that's the main thing. You really want to watch out what the Feds. They're not going to raise interest rates this year, so forget that. Okay, interest rates are still zero, so it's going to keep a big floor underneath these markets. But if they start to raise the interest rates, talk about tapering with their bond purchases, which I don't think they're going to do next month. They're probably going to be late to the punch bowl like they do all the time. It may even be late this year they do that. I don't know, but we have to wait and see what actually happens next month for what they actually say. But that's actually late next month, right? We're talking about like another almost another month away. It's just another three weeks away or something like that. I think it's on the 22nd that they do the FOMC, right? So they're going to decide what they're going to do, but which is the rate, which they're going to do zero rates. But we've got to watch what they say with actually their sort of whether they course correct, which means they're going to start to taper down. So that's what you want to see there, right? On there. But on a technical view, let's have a look at this here. Here's the big things you want to keep an eye out for on the technical view. Let's actually start with the Dow Jones first, and I'll go through all the indices. It's very, 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 very simple here, okay? So looking at the Dow Jones here, the Dow Jones has made this higher low here, okay? So this is the swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, and a swing up right now. If indeed the Dow Jones does start to break this significant low, that's going to give you a warning sign that maybe we're starting to get a little bit frothy in the markets, okay? Now, it's no certainties, but this will give you the warning sign, okay? So if that happens, that's going to be the warning sign that we may be starting to see a bit of a sharp correction out of that. Or maybe not even sharp, right? But maybe we may be seeing we may be in the starting of a correction out of the markets. So just watch out for that one there. So you apply the exact same analysis to the other indices as well too. So if we look at the S&P 500, same sort of thing as well too. We are in this wedgie, okay, high lows all the way up. We have, as you can see, high low, high low, high low, high low. This is just the market swinging, okay? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, all the way up, and we're probably going to break out and start to do something like that soon. So that's what I see happening right now. But if I am wrong about what I said, if I am wrong, and I actually am long this market, I'm long the SPY for the S&P 500, and I've been now ever since down here where the arrow is. And I'm long the QQQs, which is for the Nasdaq. Again, I have been now for a few months, because I see where we're at right now. So why wouldn't I just want to just jump on this coattail of this massive bubble that we're in right now? But I am long right now, yes, on the SPY and the QQQ. But if we do start to see on the S&P 500 a pause here, and then we start to break below this low through here, that's going to be the warning sign to say, okay, we may be getting ready to start to see a bit of a correction, which is a 8 to 10, maybe even up to 15% move on the downside. Now, if that did happen, I'm not saying it is, guys, okay? I'm not saying it is. I believe we're going to break to the upside, so I'm still long. But if we did see a 10 to 15% correction, that would actually bring the market down to around about these major levels down the bottom here. Like we may even get a pullback down the bottom here. I don't believe it's going to be the end. If we did get a bit of a correction, it's going to be a correction, I believe, only. And the market's likely to find a floor and then have a big race back up into 2022. That's what I see long term. But on the short term, if you're looking for it, if the first thing is the Fed, but then the second thing is that the technicals, okay? Watch the technicals here, because if the technicals do fail and we start to do that, then I know that for me personally, I need to start to be out of my longs, because the market's not doing what I want to see, and so therefore I need to be out. If I am wrong about what's happening right now, so far, my position is really doing really well, both the SP or SPY and especially the QQQ. So if I look at the Nasdaq as well too, the same sort of thing with the Nasdaq as well too. And this is the most important things once again, guys. You can see here we've had once again we on the Nasdaq we've had a low, we rallied up, we came back down, we created a higher low, rallied up, came back down, and now we're rallying back up again, right? So we're creating these significant high lows in the markets. So therefore, for me personally, there's no reason for me to be worried about what's happening in a big bull market as an investor, right? Or not a long-term investor, but I'm a buy and holder until the market says, hey, you shouldn't be holding anymore, right? No more holding for you. You run. So for me, once again, guys, and on the Nasdaq, if I look at the QQQ, this is the QQQ here, and I got in on this breakout here because it started the breakout, and I'm like, okay, then this thing's about to run. So on the Nasdaq, I actually do see the market actually running. You can see here on sort of this big picture here on the Nasdaq. Look at this here. So you can see here on the big picture on the Nasdaq where we're at right now, and you can see how it actually was bouncing all through these levels through here. And now we're actually breaking up and we're starting to develop these highs. So I see the Nasdaq starting to run up, and again, I've got a 17,000 target by the end of this year in the market. But if I'm wrong, then I'm going to be flexible with the markets as well too. Okay, so please be flexible. If you are in the markets, long term that is, it doesn't matter what markets, whether it's the gold market, your investing position, there must be a point in time to say, okay, then what is your exit point? If the market does this, I'm sharing with you what my exit points are. If the market does these certain things, then I need to be out of these long-term buy and holds. Okay. But for now, from there to there, you can see what's happening there. So if I go to my QQQ, and let's actually just bring this up through to here. Once again, I got in on this breakout here, and I've been riding the QQQ ever since. And as you can see, like with my QQQ position, guess what? Let me actually just take this off the screen here for a minute. You can see here that, look what's happening once again. We're developing what? We have a low point, rallied up. We had a higher low, we rallied up through there, and then we came down. That was another higher low, and now we're doing that. So as long as we keep doing these higher lows, then I am all good in the markets. But as if we don't, and we start to challenge these lows again, and we start to do something like this, like that, and we start to break it, then I know that I no longer need to be in the QQQ because we're starting to get a little bit frothy and the market's not doing what I wanted to see doing. I'm already seeing what's happening on the big picture, those weekly charts. We're very overextended, or we're getting into bubbly territory. I see this thing being a big, massive blow off top that we're actually probably not even starting yet. But again, if I'm wrong, then these are the safety mechanisms of me saying, okay, if I'm wrong about the market continue making a massive explosion to the upside, then I want to make sure that I'm protecting my account so I can live to fight another day and I can go find another position and put that in there and go make some good money as well too. Make sense, traders? So that's the most important things when it comes to the market. So I've covered actually a lot of stuff in today's video. And if you're still watching right now, you are 1%er. You are the 1%er in these markets. I promise you guys, you are going to crush it in these markets, because most people would have already left halfway through the first 5 minutes of my rant and even during this video about the mindset stuff. But the mindset stuff, what I've talked about in this video, is so important to your success. But only time will tell. But so guys, you are the 1%er. So guys, I want you to put in, I want you to put in the chat box below. Let's see, what can we put in the chat box below? Let's actually put in the chat box below, mining boom, right? Mining boom, because I really do see we're on the precipice of seeing an incredible 2, 3, 4, 5 year mining boom in the mining sector. So that's why I'm looking at the mining sector. All right, so guys, put in the comment section mining boom, and that's going to show me you're the 1% of this watch video. This video is almost gone for 40 minutes long, or 35, almost 36 minutes long right now, a bit longer. And you're still watching right now. So put in the comment section, guys, below mining boom. That will show me that you are the 1%ers. And also, it's going to confuse the hell out of people saying mining boom. Like, why is everyone saying this for? What's going on here? So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today's little Sunday end of the week video. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for the rest of this year. I'm excited for this decade, and I hope you are as well. Hey traders, I'm giving away 100% free access to my brand new breakthrough full trading course. This is 8 videos over 10 hours of pure amazing and powerful strategies. This is my most powerful systems and strategies that I've used for the last 16 years, and I'm giving it away for free. So this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link around here somewhere, a button or in the description or somewhere in there. Click on that and you can go get free access to my brand new breakthrough trading course. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now. Go to that right now, guys. You can get full, complete, free membership access. Go do that right now.